Hey, you know what? Today's another amazing journey that I'm going to take you through when it comes to, retirement planning and savings, and also at the same time, about what the future lies ahead when it comes to your money. Today, I want to focus on a little bit about from a business standpoint. Is that okay? Look, I know a lot of you guys out there, some of you may be an entrepreneur spirit. Some of you may have company or corporations. Well, today, in some cases where, you may have retirement set up for your employees or you may have not. Some of you be doing contributions, some of you may not. So I want to bring something very little different, unique today. Some of the subject I'm about to talk about when it comes to the plan that you set up for your employees that you may have exist. Some of it, did you hear a little bit later, you're going to say, wow, I never heard of it. At all. As a employer, or you may have self-business working by yourself, I would talk about this. You may have a company as well. You may have 2 to 5 employees, or you can have 250 employees, or you may have 1,000 employees that exist out there. But you're about to hear something very unique today in the financial industry that I'm about to share with you. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, so let's say you're an entrepreneur, okay? You're by yourself and you say, you know what, Shirley, I'm working, I'm a doctor, I'm a dentist, I've got a dry cleaning business. And today, I want to think about retirement because, so often, we as self-employed people, we're busy running around doing everything else. And any money you make, you put it back into the business, right? So you put it back into business. And, so often, I hear people say to me, oh, if I die tomorrow, don't worry about it. It's the business that I'm hoping Create Today would leave for my family. Well, if you got a business a long time where, think about this guy, if that business is thriving, is doing well, then maybe, your family could continue to take on. Or what if it is not thriving? What if it is something where your kids don't want to get involved? You know how often that I hear kids tell me, I don't want to do what my mom and dad does. Look, speaking from experience, I will tell you that. My kids tell me that, okay? So if you got a business that you want to kind of think about leaving a legacy, and if you don't have any kind of protection planning on that, I think you really, really need to take a look at today. If anything you learned from today from a self-employed business standpoint, you want to create, a kind of plan that you can have money for the future, okay? Look, you're busy paying for the business. You're busy paying for everyone else, paying for your employees and all that. But if you don't think, saving for yourself, you need to. The other thing is that as a self-employed person, you may make too much money, right? So you may think about, okay, Shirley, I've told that I can do a kind of tax deferred plan where I can grow money, inside of it, growing tax deferred, compounded interest on it, and I can get a tax deduction write-off. Now, what are those plans? It could be a 401k, it could be a solo 401k, could be an IRA, could be some kind of pension plan that you have. All I'm saying that these are the kind of plans that traditionally what people kind of drawn to, right? And if you happen to say, okay, I've got an IRA that I want to contribute. But the problem with some of the IRA accounts is that it doesn't give you a lot of contribution that you can have. Think about it. If depends on your age, there's restrictive as to how much you can put in. And of course, the IRS allows you to increase that contribution every year. Let's say, you're 55 years old and you're putting in $7,000 a year into an IRA. Honestly, that's not a lot of money you can live off, okay? Some of you guys should consult your tax advisor and other folks. Maybe you want to consider do something bigger than an IRA. Perhaps a SEP IRA, right? And in that case, you said, okay, you know what? Maybe a SEP IRA maybe can give you a little bit more. Maybe I can put $20,000, $30,000. Again, it depends on how much revenue you're bringing in, income and all that. Your tax advisor probably can tell you a lot more based on your limit of contribution, how much you can do from a business owner standpoint. And then some of you guys say, what? How about 401k? I know 401k can do great things. Well, yeah, that's another option. So with a 401k and everything I mentioned to you earlier, it depends with the market, right? You can make money in the market, but at the same time, you can lose money in the market. And those could be variable stuff. However, there are accounts out there today that exist for whether it's a SEP IRA or regular IRA, a traditional kind where you can still get the tax deduction write-off, but you have what is called your money is invested in the index performance where you can't lose. Basically, when the stock market makes money, you make with it. But if it loses for some reason, it lost 10, 15, 12%, it doesn't matter. Basically, they said, look, we didn't make any money, so therefore your fund will have to, the floor is zero. You won't get any credit, but you won't lose any money. Did you guys know that exists out there? Well, that's part of the unique planning strategy that I believe in when it comes to your retirement as a business owner. You need to protect hard-earned money of that, okay? Being able to have that kind of advantages at your wonderful, business as you work so hard for. Pay yourself first, please. Pay yourself first. Now, I'm about to share with you another plan. I call it the 5-year retirement plan. It's something that I love it because you know what? From a business owner standpoint, I love the idea that what if I can put money in an account and I do it for 5 years and I never have to worry about it again. I never have to touch it. There's a lot of unique programs called leverage. There'll be another episode that I'll talk about this leverage program because today is probably not enough for me to talk about the leverage program. But imagine, you have an opportunity where you put money in, have an opportunity for vendors, the banker, companies, banking industry, using leverage where they basically match your fund. So for example, if I put in $25,000, it depends on my ages and how old I am and all that, you have a lender that can match 3 times. So the question is, okay, do you want to grow your money on $25,000? Or do you have a chance when they're matching you close to double or triple, your monies? I know. I can see it. Some of you guys out there look at me like, Shirley, it sounds too good to be true. Again, I brought you this show, Focus on Finance, is to bring the education to you guys so that you could explore, so that you could check, because everything that we do will be regulated, will be checked out. I would not dare to say something that doesn't exist. But again, it's an education. You get in touch with me, I'll tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about the account. What are the fees? So again, it's one of those things where you need to understand about money and finance. So that's from a business, individual standpoint, different options. Maybe you have a partner. Maybe you don't have a partner. Maybe you should consider about keyman insurance. Maybe you want to look at, if my partner died, what happened to the business? I've been counting on his money to be able to sustain the business. If one partner dies, you may left alone, don't have no money to fund that. So you may want to invest in something, or having a life insurance for your partner. Or you may say, you know what, really, if something happened to my partner, I really don't want anyone else to come on in. I don't know, maybe I wouldn't say dislike the wife or the husband of the other partner, but you may want to just do it by yourself, that you want to buy the other partner out, right? Because, at the end of the day, you just don't feel that, gut feeling of working a good relationship or get along well, or you just want to be on your own. So consider, utilizing life insurance to protect each other in that case, where you can buy the other spouse out in case of your partner, something happened to that. Or you may just say, you know what, if something did happen to you, I want to be able to continue on the legacy. A lot of time, I find that even church organization, when the pastor passes away, one of the pastors said to me, hey, my whole livelihood was about working with the congregation, leaving a legacy, doing these kind of things. And maybe you do have a life insurance. Imagine you can continue your teaching on even long after you're gone. So life insurance itself plays such an important role when it comes to part of the financial planning for a business owner. And I think it's something very important that you need to take a look at and set aside for, right? Again, all these things, if you do keyman insurance, all those kind of product that I just mentioned to you, you as a business owner perhaps could get us a tax write-off, for your business, right? Where it reduce your taxes, and yet it gains so much more in the benefit that you have. Now, let's talk for those of you who's got a lot of employees, right? You may have 5 employees, 10 employees, or 20 employees, or 100 employees. It's tough nowadays to find good workers, don't you, right? How do you motivate them? Because as an employer, this is what I see. The minute you say, okay, I'll pay you this much money, they agree to work with you, and you thought you got them for hire. You may not, because you know why? If that employee don't feel the sense of loyalty, if they don't feel a sense of that they can be of value, or if they felt like, this is just my stepping stone to go on the next. Because if the next employer happens to pay them $5,000 more in compensation or $10,000 more, that's a lot of money. What do you think they're going to do? As much as they love you and like you and all that, they may jump ship. Now, you just took all this money teaching them, training them, showing them all this, and they leave you. Well, what if I told you there's programs out there that imagine you can tell that employee or the valuable contributor in your organization is non-discriminatory plan. When I say you're non-discriminatory, meaning I can have it for this one and I don't have to have it for that one. I don't have to abide by a lot of the regulation and rules when it comes to, being fair to one employee, not being fair to another employee. Well, guess what? These are the 5-year retirement plan and things like that I think you could offer for those executive employees that you want to keep them around. Make a deal with them. Say, look, I'm paying you this, but how about this? What if I can create some kind of like a similar pension plan or retirement plan and allows you that I'm going to contribute to it. If you stay around, work with me for 5, 10, 15 years, I'll turn it over to you. Wouldn't that be neat if you can offer those kind of things? Did you know it exists, guys? It exists today. And some of those plans that you can get a tax deduction write-off and things like that. Look, these are very, very unique plans that I want to be able to share to the world in other episodes. How can that be done and how could that happen? And this is how, I wouldn't say put a golden handcuff, but kind of like keep them around. They'll be loyal to you. So the next time, it's not about just money. Oh, if someone paid me $5,000 more, I jump ship. It's about you helping them for their family to create an incredible, pension plan, retirement stuff that they'll stay loyal. So please reach out to me, Shirley Liu and Associates. My number is 703-608-1203. And I cannot wait to reach out and talk to you, viewer.